Scene 1. The Abandoned Mansion. Description: Elena, a young woman with long dark hair and a curious expression, stands at the entrance of an old abandoned mansion. The mansion is covered in vines, its wooden doors slightly ajar, revealing darkness inside. The setting is eerie, with the dim light of dusk casting long shadows. Image prompt: a mysterious young woman with long dark hair stands before an old abandoned mansion at dusk. The mansion is covered in vines, its wooden doors slightly ajar, revealing darkness inside. The atmosphere is eerie, with a misty, overgrown garden surrounding the structure. Scene 2. Entering the mansion. Description: Elena steps cautiously into the dusty, decayed interior of the mansion. Faded paintings hang on cracked walls and old furniture is draped in white sheets. The air is thick with dust and the wooden floor creaks under her steps. Image prompt: a young woman with long, dark hair cautiously steps into an old, decayed mansion. The dim interior is filled with dust-covered furniture, faded paintings on cracked walls, and an eerie silence. A single shaft of light from a broken window illuminates floating dust particles in the air. Scene 3. The Mysterious Door. Description: Elena discovers a strange, unfamiliar door that doesn't match the mansion's blueprints. The door looks pristine, unlike the rest of the house, and has an ornate golden handle. Her hand hovers over the knob hesitantly. Image prompt: a mysterious young woman with long dark hair stands before an ornate, pristine door inside an abandoned mansion. The door is out of place, untouched by decay, with an intricate golden handle. The surrounding walls are cracked and dusty, adding to the unsettling contrast. Scene 4. The Strange Room Description. Elena steps inside a beautifully maintained room with a flickering fireplace. The atmosphere is warm but unnatural. A large antique mirror reflects her, but with hollow eyes and an eerie grin. Image prompt: a young woman with long dark hair stands in a strangely pristine room inside an abandoned mansion. A fireplace flickers warmly, casting shadows. An antique mirror reflects her image, but with hollow, unnatural eyes and a ghostly grin. The atmosphere is unsettling. Scene 5. The Old Journal Description. On a wooden table, Elena finds an old leather-bound journal covered in dust. She opens it, flipping through brittle pages filled with faded ink. The last entry reads, "If you enter, you may never leave." Image prompt: a young woman with long dark hair flips through an old, dusty, leather-bound journal inside a dimly lit room. The final page of the journal contains eerie, handwritten words: "If you enter, you may never leave." A flickering candle casts an ominous glow over the pages. Scene 6. The Whisper Description. Elena suddenly feels a cold breath on her ear, as if someone is whispering. She spins around in terror, but the room is empty. The candlelight flickers violently. Image prompt: a young woman with long dark hair turns sharply in fear, sensing an unseen presence. A flickering candle nearby casts unstable shadows on the walls. The atmosphere is tense and eerie, with the feeling of something watching her. Scene 7. The door slams shut. Description: the door behind Elena suddenly slams shut with force. She rushes to grab the handle, but it won't budge. Her reflection in the mirror smirks at her, though she isn't smiling. Image prompt: a frightened young woman with long dark hair desperately tries to open a locked door inside an eerie, dimly lit room. In the background, an antique mirror reflects her, but with an unsettling smirk, though she is not smiling. Shadows dance across the walls. Scene 8. Trapped in the Mirror. Description: Elena stares in horror as her reflection reaches out and switches places with her. She is now inside the mirror, banging on the glass from the other side, while her reflection, now alive, turns away. Image prompt. A terrified young woman with long dark hair is trapped inside an antique mirror, her hands pressed desperately against the glass. On the other side, her reflection smirks darkly and walks away. The dim room and flickering candlelight create a haunting atmosphere. Scene 9. The mansion returns to silence. Description. The room is now empty. The candle burns low, the journal lies closed, and the mansion falls into eerie silence once again. The door stands ajar as if nothing ever happened. Image prompt. An empty, dimly lit room in an abandoned mansion. A candle burns low on a wooden table next to a closed, dust-covered journal. The ornate mirror stands silently, its surface smooth and undisturbed. The atmosphere is eerily still. Scene 10. The final entry description. The next morning, the mansion is abandoned once more. The only sign of Elena is the journal, now open to a new, fresh entry that reads, "I am trapped." Image prompt. A dusty, leather-bound journal sits open on an old wooden table inside an abandoned mansion. The final entry is written in fresh ink. "I am trapped." A flickering candle casts long shadows, and the eerie silence of the mansion lingers in the air.